progress update on Scions of Oth Season 2. And there is progress to report. So I figured you all would be happy to know what is going on with that. So, whoops. There we go. That's more like it. So, Dark Horse. This is the first episode in Season 2 of Scions of Oth. We are currently at the developmental editing stage. This is one of the final stages before publication for me. Before it goes out there, it is getting a sort of another pass through. It's gone through a heavy line edit, and now I'm having to go through and fix some consistency issues. I'm going through to add additional description to certain key elements and to characters, things that I missed along the way. And so what I do is when I'm editing a book, I go through and I actually have my computer play the book back to me, like text to speech. And that way I listen to it and I will line edit that way, because there are some things that you just don't see when you're looking at the words on the page. And so I do that, and I'll make notes along the way too. So I'll make changes, I'll fix typos, things like that. And then I'll make notes on certain elements. And now what I'm doing is I'm coming back to those notes and I'm addressing those issues. And then specifically in each chapter, looking at, okay, where are we? Like, what's the setting? Did I establish the setting well enough? Who are the characters? Did I establish them well enough in this chapter? How did I do with that? What are some of those touchstone elements that I need to go over? And so we are currently just at the very beginning of that. So we're about 5% of the way through. I plan to make some additional progress on this, probably starting at the beginning of next week, because this is going to become available for pre-order very soon. So I need to get the move on, if you will, and make some progress on this one. But it is a fun story so far. I really enjoyed writing Dark Horse, and I think it will be satisfying to people who want to continue on to season 2. I think they will like it. That 22-year time gap is not going to seem as big a deal as you might think. There's just been some new things that have been going on while we've been away. Now, episode 11, believe it or not, is almost complete. The first draft is probably going to be finished tomorrow, partway through the day. I will be finishing that soon. I think there's maybe 2,000 or 3,000 words left to go, so not going to take me all that long. I should be able to finish it tomorrow and then still have time to write some more. So I have to move on to the next project. But Zeppler Doubling is episode 11, and it has been an interesting one. There are a few extra point of view characters in this one, because we've introduced new characters and we've introduced new plot lines. So there are some parallel plot lines going on right now, but those things are going to come back together later on down the line. So we're going to make connections later on. Right now is kind of the conflict. The conflict, if you will, is starting to pick up, and we're starting to see some things change. So it's been fun to write it. For maybe, I don't know if I've shared this or not, but I do write on my phone. I'm that type of writer. I used to write on my laptop exclusively, but now I have switched to writing on my phone because it's just so much easier for me to make it a habit that way. I can write a little bit faster on a laptop for sure. I can definitely write faster. My fingers are faster than my thumbs, no doubt about it. But it's much easier for me to form the habit of writing when I'm writing on my phone, and I can do that anywhere. And actually what I do is I will walk as I write. So I will go on a walk for about 30 to 45 minutes, and I will be writing that whole time. And there's a trail nearby my house, So I'm not crossing busy streets all the time. I cross the street a couple times, but for the most part, I'm walking the whole time and I'm writing the whole time, and I can get out about 1,200 words or so on a really good walk, right? When I'm inspired and it's not too cold out. I live in Iowa, so it's been interesting. I started doing this in the winter is when I started writing and walking. November is when I started doing this, and it just clicked. It worked really well for me. And so I started doing it in November, and I was at the time, I think, doing just 1 or 2 walks a day, and now I'm up to 3 to 4 walks per day. It is also helping because I am fat. So for those wondering why do you have to walk? Well, I initially started walking because I am fat, and I am trying to not be as fat. And it's been really good for me. Other health benefits for it, from it too, just from the walking as well. But yeah, I'm the weird guy walking around the neighborhood in a hoodie, looking down at my phone the whole time, and I'm sure people have looked at me and thought, "What the hell is that guy doing?" you know. But yeah, I'm there to entertain everybody. Anyway, the line edit for Zeppler doubling will begin next week. Line editing doesn't take me all that long. It's a pretty straightforward process. It's really the notes that I have to make sure that I take, because if I'm literally just doing a line edit and I don't take any notes, then when I come back through, I basically have to do another line edit. And it takes the same amount of time because I'm using text to speech to listen to the book again. And so I have to just take those notes and be sure I do that. That's the most time consuming part of the line edit, actually, is not even the line editing itself. It's the notes I take for the subsequent stages of the process. And book 12, Automaton Hoax, is going to be starting soon. I don't know that I will be starting it immediately after book 11. I tend to like to take a little bit of a pause from one book to the next. So, for example, Dark Horse was written, the first draft of that was written before I completed First Board. First Board, of course, being the free book. I'll be doing a reading of that here in a minute. That was written before First Board. And so I did not go from Dark Horse, book 10, to book 11, Zeppler doubling, right away. I had a break in between. And in that break, I wrote First Board. And that tends to work a little better for me, I think. I need some time away from what I just wrote to think about it and then come back to it. And so I will not likely be starting Automaton Hoax right away. Automaton Hoax will probably be started next week, as I've had some more time to, first of all, start the line edit on Zeppler doubling and review over my outlines and reevaluate the plot as some things crystallize. And in the meantime, I will be writing another book. And this is a sort of super secret project, only super secret because I just haven't told anybody about it. But it is a new series that will be within the world of Scions of Oth. So related, same world. Some characters will make cameo appearances here and there, but and I'm excited for it. It's going to be a Space Marine style science fiction series. And it is going to be set in the same universe around the time of book 7 is where it's going to start. Kind of between book 6 and book 7. In there is where it's going to start. And so I actually have a prequel episode, if you will, sort of an introduction to that series that I have plotted. It will be a novelette or short story, and about 15,000 words, maybe a little bit more. We'll see how it comes out, but with some new characters and not a new setting, but a look at a familiar setting from a different angle. So I will be writing that in between episodes 11 and 12. I may not complete it before I go to episode 12. The season 2 of Scions of Oth is going to be the priority, so that's going to be the main thing that I'm going to be focusing on. But yeah. So there's your status report. All right, for those of you who wanted to know, starting on Automaton Hoax soon, and we've of course wrapped up. We'll be wrapping up Zeppler Doubling. These 3 episodes are going to be made available for pre-order very soon as well. So if you're on my mailing list, you'll find out all about that, because I won't be able to shut up about it.